Fantastic, and I hope all of you can see my desktop also on the screen. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Shall we wait for another minute, guys, and see if any more people are joining in? Failing which, we should go ahead and start the session. Let's just wait for a minute and check. I guess we should go ahead and start, guys. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Professional Trader Course Day 2. How's everybody doing this afternoon? Are we post-lunch or are we pre-lunch? Are we doing lunch, Nikhil? Pre-lunch, had coffee, pre-lunch, pre-lunch, pre-lunch. Okay. Balaji, you're doing great. Fantastic. Yesterday we had discussed in our session, we had gone through some of the basics of candlesticks. We had gone through some basics of charting, and we had also gone through the concept of how the concept of demand and supply works. Yes, we had discussed on how the pending orders, once they start to get executed, you see either price rise or price falling. Today we're going to get into a little bit of depth, and we are going to try and see how we can actually mark these zones. You remember the level we had spoken about yesterday in one of the stocks, where if orders were pending and when our 300 shares didn't get executed in our individual accounts, all of us know what is the scenario when there are multiple shares there. So before I get into the slides, I'm going to go through an actual example with you, and I'm going to go through an actual example of a demand zone on how to mark. Okay, and then we're going to get into with the slides. Okay, now step number 1, which stock am I on, friends? Which stock am I on? Top left corner of the screen. Which stock am I on? Hindustan Unilever. Step number 1 says that I look left and down till I find an explosive move in price. I repeat, step number 1 says that I look left and down starting from my current market price till I find an explosive move in price. If my current market price is 903.40, and if I look left and down, can you see an explosive move over here? Yes, no? Absolutely, you have an explosive move in price. Now, quick question to all of you over here. This move in Hindustan Unilever from 954 to 1000, who do you think can make this candle? Can you and me make this candle? Absolutely not. Only with people with the power of money can make this move. I mark this entire big move. Now, this green candle, what do you think? Is this a boring candle or an exciting candle? Is this big green candle a boring candle or an exciting candle? Exciting. Very evidently, you will notice that the body is much greater than the base, than the wick. I call this exciting candle as my leg out. I call this exciting candle as my leg out. Okay. Now, the candles next to my leg out, this candle over here, is this a boring candle or an exciting candle? Boring candle. Fantastic. What about the one next to this? Is this a boring candle or an exciting candle? This is also a boring candle. And what about the third one? Would all of you agree that the third candle is also a boring candle? All these three candles form my base. Okay, so let me write it down for all of y'all. Your leg out has to be exciting. Your base has to be boring. And your leg in has to be exciting. Now next to this three base candles over here, this green candle, is it a boring candle or an exciting candle? Exciting, exciting, exciting. I call this exciting candle as my leg in. I call this exciting candle as my leg in. Now I have three different candles. I have my leg in, I have my base, I have my leg out. I repeat, I have my leg in, I have my base, and I have my leg out. What do? I mark the lowest portion of the lowest candle, then I mark the highest body of the highest candle. I repeat, I mark the lowest wick of the lowest candle, and I mark the highest body of the highest base. Lowest wick of the lowest base, highest body of the highest base. Then I select the demand zone tool and mark this as my demand zone. I select my demand zone tool, and between the lowest wick of the lowest base and the highest body of the highest base, I mark my demand zone. Let me remove all these words and all these lines. This becomes my demand zone in Hindustan Unilever. Hind Unilever on the daily chart. This becomes my demand zone in Hindustan Unilever on the daily chart. Clear, everybody? Yes, no? Shall we look at another example? Okay, we are just in the first example. We're just in the first example. Let's look at another one. Let's go to Maruti. Okay. remove, yes. And in Maruti, let's look at even better example. Give me a minute. ICICI Bank. Give me a minute, guys. Let me look for a good example. You have Bharti Airtel. Let's look at Reliance Capital over here, friends. Okay, I am looking to mark a demand zone in Reliance Capital. I repeat, I am looking to mark a demand zone in Reliance Capital. Step number one, I start with my current market price. Step number one is I start with my current market price. Step number two is I look left and down. So let me write it down so that everybody is clear. Let's open up Microsoft Word. Let's open Word. Steps. Let me close this. Steps for marking my demand zone. Okay, bold. Steps for marking my demand zone. Step number one says that I look left and down starting from my current market price till I find a huge explosive move. Yes, this explosive move becomes my leg out. Okay, next to the leg out should be a series, should be your base or base candles that have to be boring in nature. Okay, then step number 4 says that next to my boring candles I should have another exciting candle called as my leg in. Okay, then step number 5 says that once my leg in, base and leg out once my leg in, base and leg out are marked, once my leg in, base and leg out are marked, I mark the highest, we mark the highest wick of, sorry, we mark the lowest, I beg your pardon, lowest wick of the base to the highest body of the highest base as my demand zone. Okay, please note in Strix, when we are looking for the explosive move, when we are looking for the explosive move in price in step 1, we are not allowed to cut candles. We are not allowed to cut candles. Now let me explain this. Let me save this as steps for marking zones. Okay, and let's do this exercise once again for Reliance Capital. Now I wanted to mark my demand zone in Reliance Capital. Okay, step number 1 is I start with my current market price. I look left and down till I find a huge rally. I look left and down till I find a huge rally. Now, would you all agree I have a big rally over here? Yes. This candle, is it a boring candle or an exciting candle? Exciting. Exciting. I call this as my leg out. I call this as my leg out. Yeah, let me mark this like this. Next, I have this candle over here. Is this a boring candle or an exciting candle, friends? This red candle over here. Boring or exciting? Look at it carefully. Boring? Boring? Okay, I call this as my base. But what about this green candle? Is it boring or exciting? This green candle. Exciting, boring, or you guys are not sure? Anybody over here who's maybe not sure? No, everybody says exciting. Anybody who says they're not sure? Okay, everybody seems to be sure, and absolutely it is indeed an exciting candle, which means this small red candle becomes my base and this green candle becomes my leg in. Okay, I have my leg in, base, and my leg out. I take the lowest wick of the lowest base to the highest body of the highest base, go to the top left corner of the screen and mark my demand zone over here. Mark my demand zone over here. I remove this line. I remove this line. I remove this line and I remove this line. This becomes my demand zone in Reliance Capital. This becomes my demand zone in Reliance Capital. Are you, all of you following me, guys? Give me a yes or a no, please. Yes? Okay, one more example. Let's look at a little more difficult example. Now let's look at Jet Airways. Okay, Jet Airways, this is my current market price. I start with my current market price. I look left and down till I find a big rally in price. Where can you see a big rally in price? Where can you see a big rally in price? $475, 490. Okay. Okay, so would all of you agree I have an explosive move over here? Yes, this becomes my leg in base or my leg out. This candle is my leg in. Would all of you agree this is an exciting candle? This becomes my leg out. What about this candle over here? Is this a base candle? What about this candle over here? Exciting, exciting, exciting. Okay, absolutely, the candle is indeed exciting, as you can see, which means that this candle becomes my, let me change that, as my leg in. Now I mark the highest body of the highest base and the lowest wick of the highest body and the lowest wick, and I call this as my demand zone, friends. I call this as my demand zone. Yeah, let's move on. Let's go to another example. Okay, and now I'm going to go into a smaller time frame. I'm going to go into the 15-minute chart. Let's look at example. Let's look for a good zone. No, nothing great over here. Infy's had a good move up this today. Let's see if we can plan something. Okay, I'm looking to mark my demand zone in Infosys, friends. I'm looking to mark my demand zone in Infosys. Now, where can you see an explosive move in price when you start with current market price, friends? Where can you see an explosive move in price? RT says 944. Gap up. But is that the only explosive move? Why don't you feel even this green candle is an explosive move? I have an explosive move over here. Bhuvaneshwari, we are starting from scratch. We have an explosive move over here. Now, would all of you agree this is a exciting candle? Yes? Yes, now this becomes my exciting candle over here. What about this candle? Is this boring or exciting? Exciting, boring, little bit of doubt. Let's use the boring candle indicator. Boring candle indicator says that it is an exciting candle, which means can I mark my base over here? Can I mark my base over here? No, I cannot mark any demand zone over here. The only obvious up move which is very strong is all the way over here, friends. Always remember, there might be many up moves, but we are looking for that explosive move in price. This is that explosive move in price. This candle, all of you would agree, would be my boring candle or my exciting candle? This would be my exciting candle or my leg in. This candle becomes my base, or what does this become? This candle becomes as my base. What about this candle over here? This is again an exciting candle. Nobody corrected this only. This was leg out, guys. I think the lunch effect is settling in. This becomes your leg out. This becomes my leg in. I mark it from the highest body of the highest base to the lowest wick of the lowest base. Select my demand zone tool from the top left corner and mark this as my demand zone. I then remove this line, remove this line, remove this line, as well as remove this line. This becomes my demand zone in Infosys on the 15-minute chart. I repeat, this becomes my demand zone in Infosys in the 15-minute chart. Let's go to a little more complicated example. I want to mark my zone on HCL Tech, friends. I want to mark my zone on HCL Tech, and let's assume my current market price is 820. I've taken this example on purpose. Let's say my current market price is 820. Where can you all see an explosive move in price? Nowhere. 815, 810. Would you all agree there is a big explosive move over here? Yes or no? Yes or no? Now this explosive move, what is the caveat I had put here while marking my zones? The caveat that I had put over here while marking my zones is that when we are looking for the explosive move in step 1, we are not allowed to cut candles. I repeat, we are not allowed to cut candles. If I start with my current market price, if I have to reach the base part of this candle, hear me out, friends. If I assume 820 is my current market price, from 820, if I have to reach this base candle over here, would all of you agree I have to cut through this candle to reach here? Would all of you agree that if I have to reach the base part of this candle, I have to cut through this candle to reach here? Can I cut through candles? Can I cut through candles? Absolutely not. Hence, I cannot mark a demand zone over here. What about this base? Because there is an explosive move over here as well. This explosive move over here, if I want to reach this base candle, if I start from 820, which is my current market price, can I reach this base candle without cutting this wick? The new participants, are you understanding that I cannot reach this base without cutting this candle, which means I cannot mark this zone also. Yeah. What about this candle? Is this an exciting candle as well? Yes or no? I can mark this candle as my leg out. What about these two blue candles? Are they boring or exciting? Of course, now all of you know. But these are boring candles, which I call as my base. This red candle, would you all agree, can be a little dicey, can be boring or exciting? This red candle over here, would you all agree it can be boring or exciting? But because my blue candle, boring candle tool was on, you know it is a exciting candle, which means I mark this as my leg in. Yes? So I have my leg in, I have my base, I have my leg out. Okay, I select the highest body of the base, which is over here. I select the lowest wick of the base, lowest wick of the lowest base, which is over here. I drag and drop from the left top corner of the screen my demand zone over here. I remove this line, I remove this line, remove this line, I remove this line. To reach this base, would you agree that I have to cut candles or I don't have to cut any candles? I don't need to cut any candles. Aarti, the base candle is not explosive. It is just an extended range candle. Explosive is when there is a big body. Here the body is small and only the range is big. And whenever the range is big, it is not an explosive candle. It's just an expanded range candle. Yeah. Okay, let's do one more example before I give you all an exercise to do this. I'm saying leg out is not explosive enough. Would you agree, Aarti, this is a qualified zone? This drop base rally can be marked as a demand zone. That's all we are learning now, no, Aarti? Because you have a little prior experience, you are bringing that to the table. Right now, we are only learning how to mark demand zones. Now, let's look at another example. Let's look at Nifty. Now in Nifty or Nifty Bank, let's see. Nifty. Now I want to mark a demand zone on the Nifty weekly chart, friends. I want to mark a zone on the Nifty weekly chart. Now where can you find a big move in price, guys? Where can you all find a big move in price? $21,534, big move in price over here. I'm sure all of you agree this is an exciting candle, yes? Absolutely, I call this as my leg out. What do you think? Is this a boring candle? Is this a boring candle? Is this a boring candle? No? Okay. Shall we put on our tool just to be sure? You will notice that all these candles are boring candles. All these candles are boring candles, and this becomes your exciting candle or your leg-in. This becomes your exciting candle or your leg-in. How do I mark my zone? I mark the highest body of the highest base, which is over here. I mark the highest body of the highest base, and I mark the lowest wick of the lowest base. Highest body of the highest base, lowest wick of the lowest base. Go to the top left corner, select my demand zone tool, and drag and drop my demand zone. Drag and drop my demand zone. I remove this horizontal line, I remove this horizontal line, I remove this vertical line, I remove this vertical line. Clear, everybody? Yes, shall we do an exercise on our own to mark a demand zone? Okay, now let me take you to mark a demand zone, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a challenging example. Okay, I want you guys to mark a demand zone on the daily chart of Cipla. Open up your Trade Tigers, friends. Open up your Trade Tigers, and I want you to mark a daily demand zone on Cipla. On the daily chart of Cipla, I want you to mark a demand zone. Yes, open up your Trade Tigers. I shall monitor. Once you guys are complete, let me know and I'll have a look at the zone. Once you guys have completed, let me know. I'll trap into your system and Let me know if you guys are done. Okay, Arihant and Kanaka is done. Arihant, let's open up your lab. Arihant, here we are. Let's open Arihant's Trade Tiger. Where is your zone, Arihant? I'm not able to see the zone. You will have to make your screen a little bigger, mark your zone using the demand zone tool. Perfect, Arihant, perfect. That is perfect. Okay, who is it? Kanha is finished. Let's go to Kanha's system. Kanha, you have not selected the lowest wick of the lowest base. You've marked it correctly, identified it correctly, but the bottom part of the zone has to be at the lowest wick now. You've not marked it at the lowest wick. The highest body point is correct. Let's have a look at Hitesh till then. Hitesh, okay. Yeah, let me get into your monitor. Just change it, no Kanha. Yeah, change it. Hitesh, perfectly done. What about the rest of y'all? Nikhil? Yeah, just give me a second, Nikhil. Kanha, the lowest wick is, I think, in base number 1. Yeah, base number 1. Let's look at candlestick. If you want candlestick chart, Bikash, press J on the keyboard. Bhuvneshwari, press J on the keyboard. Nikhil, let's open up your system. Perfect, Nikhil. Perfect. Aarti says done. Aarti, I'm assuming yours is going to be correct. But let's have a look. Perfect, Aarti. Perfect. Guru 24. Guru, okay. Press T and then J then. Press DTJ. D for Delhi, T for talk, and J for joy. DTJ. In Trade Tiger, that's correct, Srinivas. Yes, absolutely correct, Guru. Gokul, let's have a look at yours. Yes, perfect, Gokul. Remove the volume bar, Gokul. We don't use the volume bar anywhere. What about the other people? Anthony, Amitabh, Mino, and Balaji. Kanha, I forgot, you had told me your name yesterday. Can you please repeat it? Balaji, let me, Monica, okay. Balaji, let me just have a look at your system. Give me a minute. No, so I'm just taking control of your system, Monica. And I'm showing it to you how it's done. Okay. I remove this and use my demand support tool. Select the demand zone, and from here to here, can you see from the lowest wick over here to the highest body over here? Yeah, lowest wick of the lowest base to the highest body of the highest base. Balaji, let me open up your system. You do have the green and red candles, but you're on the 15-minute chart, Balaji. Press D on the keyboard. Press D on the keyboard. That will give you the daily chart. Friends, if you want to go to the daily chart, you press D. If you want to go to the weekly chart, you press W. If you want to go to the monthly chart, you press M. If you want to go to the intraday time frame, just look at my screen for a second. Balaji, remove the volume bar. We don't require volume. If you're looking to go to an intraday time frame, no, go to the bottom right corner of the screen, select wherever DLY is written. Then select 90 days, and let's say if you want to go to 15 minutes, select 90 day 15 minutes, and this should come on your screen. The 90 days 15-minute chart. The 90 days 15-minute chart should come on your screen. That is to go to intraday time frames. To go to intraday time frames. Amitabh says done. Let's have a look. Amitabh. Perfect, Amitabh. Perfect. Balaji, volume guard removed. Okay, now you need to mark your zone, Balaji, as per the rules that I have taught you. Srinivas, let's have a look at your chart. Srinivas, you haven't logged into Trade Tiger, I think. You haven't logged into the lab. Because I don't see you here in the lab. Bikash, let's have a look at yours. Just remove the volume bar because we don't need that volume at the bottom. Bhuvaneshwari, I'm coming to yours. Okay, Srinivasan, do you have the number for IT? Let me ask them to give you a call. Give me a minute. Just hold on, guys. Go next to volume and press on cross. देवेंद्र जी, श्रीनिवासन गुंडू करके पार्टिसिपेंट है, उनका लैब में एक्सेस नहीं हो रहा है, थोड़ा देख लीजिए ना. थैंक यू. I have told IT Srinivasan, they should be calling you. Bhuvaneshwari, let's check yours. No, next to volume, next to where volume is written, no, because there. No, remove that. Next to this volume, go to volume, put your mouse over volume, and you will see an X will come. Let me do it for you. Let me do it for you. There you go. Okay, that was Bikash. Bhuvaneshwari, let's have a look at yours. Bhuvaneshwari, I can see only your desktop. And some news about in a private dinner, Donald Trump demanded loyalty. I'm not able to see Trade Tiger. Perfect, perfect, Bhuvaneshwari. Thank you. Who else is left? Balaji, let's look at yours. Volume bar removed, but you have to mark your zone, no, Balaji? You haven't marked your zone. See, the rules are on my table. Let me show you the rules again. There you go. I've left the rules on the table. I'll give you another 5 minutes. It's okay if, okay, the demand supply icons are not visible, then you need to again get in touch with IT, Balaji. But you can mark 2 horizontal lines and call it your zone. Just mark 2 horizontal lines, Balaji. Okay, the upper one is perfect, lower one absolutely perfect. Good going, Balaji. Anybody else who's have not seen Anthony? I haven't seen yours, I think. Minu, I haven't seen yours also, I believe. Am I correct? By the way, friends, you can take a screenshot of this if you want. I'll leave it on during the break. One more example I want you all to do, a little more complicated one. Let's do one more example before we take a break. Let it open. Perfect. I want you all to open the 15-minute chart of Dabur. Please open the 15-minute chart on Dabur and mark all the demand zones you can see close by. 15-minute chart of Dabur. done? Oh, great, Nikhil. Let's have a look. Where is your PC lab, Nikhil? Perfect. Good job, Nikhil. Perfect. Who else is done? Guru 24. Guru, you've marked it on the daily chart. We're looking to mark it on the 15-minute chart. On the daily, you have marked it correctly, but on the 15-minute chart, my friend. Hitesh, let's have a look at yours. Hitesh, you have 15-minute. Friends, just do one thing, friends. Just turn your attention to the screen. Just turn your attention to my screen, friends. Just for a second. Right click, go to settings. Right click, go to settings, and just see show close data, adjust with market hours, and limited number of ticks on the chart are check marked. I'll repeat, post close data, adjust with market hours, and limited number of ticks on chart are there. If not, click on save and refresh your chart. Hitesh, you want me to repeat? Okay, sure. Right click, go to settings, show post close data, adjust with market hours, and limited number of ticks on the chart should be settled, should be check marked, I beg your pardon. And click on save and then refresh your chart. Amitabh, they are there everywhere because your trade tiger is still the same, right? Guru says done now. Let's have a look at Guru's chart. Guru, you'll have to remove that. 15-minute, you marked one. I said mark all, Guru. Are there any more? Are there any more? Have a look. Amitabh says done. Let's have a look at yours, Amitabh. Okay, the first one is correct. Anyone else did you mark, Amitabh, apart from that first one? Perfect. Perfect, Amitabh. 1 second, just 1 second. Can you zoom in, Amitabh? Can you zoom in to the third zone? No, Aarti, you have to right click, go to settings. Aarti, right click and settings, Aarti. That third zone you've not marked correctly, my friend. The third zone that you've marked, Amitabh, you've not marked that zone correctly, my friend, because if you see your leg out candle is coming below the zone. Amitabh says, I'm finding it difficult. You have to select the zone. Press T, select the zone, and then, no, don't remove all tools. Let me show you. Let me take control. Just a second. Okay, I select this. Delete. Can you see this zone that you've marked, Amitabh, is tested over here? Can you see over here it's tested? Which means you will be cutting candles to come to your zone. So that one is incorrect. Monica says, you finished. Monica, let's have a look. Monica. Can you zoom out, please, Monica? No, there is one even before this one, Monica. Before the 273 one that you've marked, no, there's one before that as well. Yeah. Can you see there's a one before that? Coming, Aryant. Aryant, monitor. Perfect, Aryant. Perfect. Balaji, what about you? Srinivas, did IT get in touch with you? Did IT get in touch with you? Vikas, what about you? Anthony, Anthony, are you in the session? Even yesterday I didn't get a response. Anthony, are you in the session? Vikas says done. Oh, Anthony, yesterday also I didn't find you. Have you done it? Because I didn't see your version. Let's have a look at Bhuvaneshwari's one. Voice not clear. Anthony, I was saying, have you done the exercise that we are talking about? Perfect, Bhuvaneshwari. Perfect. Srinivas, are they still looking into it? Why no, Anthony? Did you understand the concept? Can you please tell the exercise again? Sure, sure. So, Anthony, you understood how to mark demand zones? You understood that concept? Fantastic. What I want you to do is that I want you to mark in the 15-minute chart of Dabur the closest demand zones that you can see. I want you to mark in the 15-minute chart of Dabur the closest demand zones that you can see. Guru says he's done. Gokul Ram, yours is correct. Balaji, you're still doing it. Guru, yes, that is indeed correct, but there is one closer than that, Guru. There is one closer than that. Yes, Monica, you're right. Let me just check with IT about you, Srinivas, because I want you to do the exercise and learn. Yeah, Aarti, that sounds good. देवेन जी, श्रीनिवासन का देखें आप. हाँ, नहीं हुआ है, थोड़ा फोन कर लीजिए ना. Okay, so I'm waiting for, I think, couple of more people. So the people who finished, I'll give you one last exercise. Instead of us taking a break, I think it is prudent that during the break you can do this exercise in case some of you, and we're going to go to a different time frame. Okay, we're going to go to a different time frame. Maybe we'll go to the 60-minute chart. Because not seen yours, just a second. Let me get access of your system. I don't, number 2, because monitor the student. Perfectly done, Vikas. Perfect. Hitesh, I've already looked at yours, no? Let me have a look anyway again. Hitesh, you've missed one. There is one that is closer by. Okay, in Castrol Industries, or no, give me a minute, guys, give me a minute. Let me give you a little complicated one so it's easy to understand. Yes, that is right, Hitesh. Not the one that you've marked, Hitesh. On top of that. Guru, no, you've got it correctly. I don't think you've missed anyone. Okay, great. I want you to mark it in Reliance Capital 60-minute chart, friends. Last exercise, we're going to take a 10-minute break, but in the break, if some of you are not busy, I would advise that the Reliance Capital 60-minute chart, I want you to mark the closest two demand zones. Reliance Capital 60-minute chart closest to demand zones. Balaji, I'm going to look at yours. Balaji. The one that you have marked is correct, Balaji, but one more I want. One more, Balaji. Reliance Capital's 60-minute chart, gentlemen and ladies. We'll take a 10-minute break. Balaji, I'll have a look when you're marking, and let's be back in 10 minutes for those of you taking the break, guys. 60-minute chart. Monica, 60-minute chart. Bhuvneshwari, 60-minute chart. Okay, I don't see Balaji. You've not marked the last one, is it? Or you finished it? I'm not seeing it. How many of you have finished the 60-minute exercise? Okay, Balaji, I am looking at your screen only. I am waiting for, you're looking at Reliance Infra. You're showing me Reliance Infra, okay. You've marked this one. Why does your chart look different from mine? No, Balaji, I think you've made a mistake. I think you're cutting candles in marking that zone. You're cutting candles, my friend, in the zone that is marked right now. Let's wait for everybody to finish and then I'll have a look at everybody's one by one. Okay, Aarti, you're done. Friends, I would request all of you to change the background color of your charts to white, because otherwise it becomes difficult for me to see. Because the screen, for those of you who are on PCs, are I think relatively small, or your laptop screen sizes are small. So go to settings, go to background, change it to white, and change the color of the foreground to black. Background white, foreground black. Okay, let me just have a look at your system, Aarti. 1 second. I've taken control. Oops. Aarti, can you just check if your settings are the same as mine, or are you using an old version of Trade Tiger? Because your graph, see, this is my graph, what you're seeing on my screen. I have a feeling your graph is a little different from mine. I think your settings are not the same. Yeah, Balaji, now can you mark it, please? Hitesh, I'm on your screen, and tell me, Hitesh, the topmost level that you have marked at 670, are you able to reach the base of this zone without cutting candles? Then how can you mark the first one, my friend? The first one is incorrect. What about the third one, Hitesh? The third one, can you see? You've marked the zone, but prices have come back and touched the zone. Can you see prices have come back and touched the zone? Whenever prices comes back and touches your zone, the zone is called as tested. And we do not take tested zones for the simple rationale that our orders might have been fulfilled when it got tested, because there's a phenomenal bounce from that tested level. Srinivas, I'm coming. Great, Hitesh. Monica, you've also marked level 1, the 667 level. If you notice, you have to cut candles if you have to go to that level. Prices have come and touched that level again, so it is tested. Perfect, Monica. Let's Srinivas, let's have a look at yours. Anthony, waiting to see your one. I'm just taking control of your PC, Srinivas. So this level that you have marked, my friend Srinivas, is actually correct. Yes, but I want you to mark another one also. I said 2 now. Anthony, just give a call to IT. Anthony, just give a call to IT. Why you're not able to load graph? Amitabh, let's have a look at yours. Let me also brief IT, Anthony. कौन बात कर रहा है? अभिषेक, एंथनी करके एक पार्टिसिपेंट है, उनका लैब नहीं लोड हो रहा है, थोड़ा कॉल कीजिए उनको प्लीज. Just a second, guys. Yeah. Srinivas. Perfect, Srinivas. Good going there. Amitabh, you've marked the second one. Yes, Amitabh, that is indeed correct. Balaji, the level that you are marked on your screen, can you see prices have come back and touched your level? Srinivas, 10 questions, sir. What are the 10 questions, Srinivas? Oh, it's 10 Q. Thank you, is it? Or I don't know. My apologies, my apologies. I saw it as 10Q, that's why I thought it was 10 questions. Did you understand what I was trying to say, Balaji? Balaji, now the level that you've marked, no, from 644 to 625. Okay, now let me bring it over here so that everybody can see. The level that you marked here from 644 to 625, can you see prices have come back and touched over here your level? Can you see this prices have come and touched your level? Now this, whenever prices comes back and touches your level, means that you can no longer take that level. It is a tested level and we don't take tested levels. Yeah, clear? Yes, you can look beyond that. That's correct, Balaji. Who else had done? Gokul Ram. Gokul, let's have a look at yours. Gokul, okay. This one you've marked. This one you've marked. Okay. Okay. Good going, Gokul. Bhuvaneshwari, let's have a look at yours. Perfect, Bhuvaneshwari. Perfect. Now, friends, let me make one point very clear to everybody over here. The levels we are marking are not levels where you're going to go and take a trade in. I repeat, the levels where what we are marking, we are not going to go ahead and take a trade over here. We have only learned one part of the concept. You cannot start taking trades just by learning one part of the concept. These are not qualified demand and supply zones. These are just, I'm teaching you how to mark your zones. Please keep that in mind. There will be enough and more time for us to trade, friends. Who else is left? Nikhil? Let's check yours. Nikhil, this level that you have marked over here, the first one. Now, can you see prices? This green candle is your leg out. Let me show it to you. You have marked this level, Nikhil. Am I correct? Correct? Yes or no, Nikhil? Now, would you agree this green candle is your leg out? Just a minute, guys. You can't take tested levels because prices have come back and touched this level. Are all of you in the room understanding why I'm saying prices have come back and touched this level? Because this becomes your leg in, base, leg out. And the very next candle has come back and touched the level, which means it is already tested. Can you see after touching this level, it is already moved up so much. So we can't take tested levels. Did all of you understand, friends, the logic behind why I'm saying this? So you can't mark this as a level. But the other two, so the first one is tested. Now the second one, Nikhil, what do you feel? Is the second level tested? Remove the first one and check. Remove and check if the second level is tested. This one, can you see prices have come back again here, Nikhil, and again zoomed up? So this is also tested. Yeah. Hitesh, okay, is done. Monica is done. Balaji, did you understand the rationale on why that was tested? Minu, I haven't looked at your level, Minu. Okay, Nikhil, perfect. Now you know. Minu, I haven't seen in your levels. Are you in the room, Minu? Not getting a reply from Meenu Sharma. Meenu, you have my mail ID. In case you are watching the recording, please get back in touch if you are finding it difficult anywhere. Absolutely, Srinivas. Lovely example. Shall we do one last example, friends? Is everybody okay with this? One last example. Yeah, I want you guys to see where can you see a level on Tata Elxsi on the 15-minute chart. Tata Elxsi on the 15-minute chart, where can you see a level? Yeah, that's the last exercise. No, I want you guys to mark it. I want you guys to mark it. Yeah, I'm going to give you 5 minutes time. Bikash says done. Nikhil, that is indeed correct. Again, friends, let me tell you, we are only marking demand and supply zones. There are 5 other concepts which tell us whether the zone that we have marked is good or not. Please don't take a trade there. Guru says done. Perfect, Guru, you've got that correct. Who else? Vikas says perfect, Vikas. Perfect. Balaji. Amitabh says he's done. Balaji, perfectly done. Amitabh. Aarti, did you get your problem sorted out? Perfect, Amitabh. Only one zone, Hitesh. That's correct. Hitesh. Perfect, Hitesh. Perfect. Okay, Aarti. Monica says she's done. Anthony, what about you? Arihant? Arihant, you're done? Fantastic. Perfect. It's not picking the call. Shall sort it out on Monday. Okay, Anthony, please do. And if you have any queries, Anthony, please mail me, or you can always ask me on Monday as well. Srinivas, let's have a look. Before that, Aryant, perfect. Srinivas. Not able to see your lab, Srinivas. Ah, okay, got it. Perfect, Srinivas, perfect. Good going, guys. I think it was good. So I'll just quickly mark all the levels for the benefit of everybody and the people watching recordings. Tata Elxsi, this was the level I was talking about. Okay. I've already checked yours, Monica. In Reliance Capital, the one that we marked right before this, I believe it was on the 60-minute time frame, if I'm correct. We had one level over here. Okay. We had one level over here, and this level was tested, ladies and gentlemen. This level also, which was over here, which some of you marked, is also tested. Can you see prices have come back over here and then given us a nice bounce. What was the other stock which we marked our trade in, friends? What was the other stock? We did Reliance Capital, we did Tata Elxsi, we did one more, Dabur. Thank you for that, Gokul. Dabur, this was the level. This was the level in Dabur, friends. Yeah, leg out, base, base, leg in. From the highest body of the highest base to the lowest wick of the lowest base. 15 minutes in Dabur, is it? Let's look at 15 minutes. Dabur 15 minute. We had one level over here. This one. Okay, now it is tested, but at that time it wasn't. We had one level over here, and we had one level over here. These were the three levels in Dabur. Great, guys. So I think we are more or less good to go with respect to our zones. With respect to demand, tomorrow we will learn supply zones in the first part of tomorrow. And in the second part of tomorrow, we are going to go through both demand and supply zone marking on the same chart. Then we are going to get into how to identify trends, something that you haven't learned or you've learned only the basic way in your earlier sessions if some of you have attended. Then we are going to go into our concept of location. Then we are going to get into odd enhancers, gaps, analysis techniques, host of concepts to be covered. Sir, you marked it wrong. Which one, Nikhil? Which one? Which one is incorrect, my friend? Oh, first I marked it on the daily. You're saying I should have marked it on the 15. Okay, okay. Got it, Nikhil. Got it. Yes, guys. So we'll close for today, friends. Any questions before we close? Next class is on Monday. You're absolutely right, Vikas. That is correct, Nikhil. That is correct. And you will learn why it is correct. Right now, we're going through the basics. Any questions, guys, before we close? Quickly, give me a yes or a no. No questions so far. Okay, fantastic. Normally, people who've either understood everything don't have questions, or who have not understood anything don't have questions. I really hope it is the former rather than the latter. Yeah, so let's meet each other on Monday, same time. Yes, Kana, very important, Monica, to brush up because the foundation has to be very strong because of a host of advanced concepts that you're going to be learning going forward. Yes, thank you so much, guys. It was a real pleasure. Let's meet each other on Monday, the same time between 1 to 3. Yes, have a nice weekend. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.